No, I've enjoyed this series. I agree with a lot of what you say about
Yeah.
the engineering behind it. Far
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
Like just to look at, it's far smaller than the export from the
The
PlayStation 5.
PS5.
It's still definitely lacked that. And this
Yeah.
is only something that happens early on when you first get something, but I think it's
Yes.
important for your perception. If someone asks you early on what one to get, I'll say whatever one you can get your hands on at the moment because they're still
Yeah.
like gold dust. But
Yeah.
it didn't feel like much of a step up because all the UI
No.
was the same, the controller was near enough the same, and we noted that when we popped the PlayStation on, like new UI, brand new controller with new tech in, and
Yeah.
Astrobot to boot to play immediately, seemed like that was like I was like, oh, this feels more like
Yeah.
a great investment early doors. But generally,
That is definitely a game changer because, like that Guardians, I would have bought that on Xbox
right?
had this been the Series One X PS4 Pro dealio because I've just gone, well, it's better on there. Yet now the PlayStation, because of that controller,
Yeah,
I'm like, right, that adds a new dynamic,
it does.
and
It's subtle, but if you enjoy it, like
mm,
it's
but
more impactful than a slight resolution bump.
yes,
That's the
yeah,
that's the
it
thing.
really is.
It feeds back. So hopefully they're working on something like that. Which is kind of why I didn't want to get an Elite controller because I saw that they'd sent out a survey many months ago now saying what features would you like, and one of the features they kind of mentioned was tech in the controls. So although they charge an arm and a leg for the Elite controllers, I'm wondering what eye-watering prices they'll come back with. That one that has haptics and adaptive triggers, but.
Salt.
Yeah, so I think it was a bit of a slow start for the Series X in terms of the
Yeah,
games. We had a lot of hopes pinned on like the medium. That turned out to be a bit of a disappointment for many
yeah.
people, and then eventually came to PlayStation earlier than I was anticipating anyway. But I think now this second year is gonna be huge. Like it's gonna be good, is what I should say. Say huge
Yeah.
as well. I think it will be because we've got Halo coming. We've just had Forza. Redfall doesn't look like my sort of game, but still they'll if it they could
They-
market that in the right way and it'll look good. And then the big kicker will be Starfield next year. Like
Yeah.
that's a good churn out, and none of that is paid extra unless you want it early for, for some of them.
yeah.
Like you can just sit there and have that, and it'll be served to you. So your
I'm a
physical
sucker.
game collection is going to take a hit.
It has. It's already started to be dismantled. It is now been moved to there.
Relegated.
Delegated. But yeah, there is no need, and yeah, yeah, it's been good. I've been playing. It's sort of equal. I'm sort of bouncing between consoles much more than I thought I would. Um, that PS4 Pro and Series and One X, I certainly was favouring towards the One X just because that's
It
how
had
everything looked
not a
better.
significant. It had an advantage mostly, didn't
There,
it?
it did, yeah. But again, the games were coming out. You're getting the God of Wars. And I know I gave God of Wars 4 there. You're getting games, the exclusives on there, and I was like, right. But even that's it. This is all that was all being set up for this. These studios, that whole fucking generation was all Phil getting ready, buying these acquisitions,
Yeah.
and now
Now
is the time to show.
it's starting to come together, which is good because
Mm.
I don't like to slag Phil off because we know Phil's friend of the show, but
Yeah, friend of the show.
sometimes we've had to
The other
give him a good
thing,
kick in just to get him in gear, and it's slowly coming
mm,
together. It's taken a fucking long time, but
tell what they have focused on this year as well, which we sort of have. We had a little play with it, but not too much. But it's the cloud gaming. So now you can play that fucking Xbox Game Pass on anything you want. Your phone, your tablet, your old Xbox One,
yep.
your fucking OG Xbox One. You can get that bastard if your internet allows it. You can play it. So
Got another update here from one of the Dimp boys. So we've had Biff talking about his screen tearing issues with Far Cry, so that's put him off that. Logan yesterday got in touch with me asking about whether he can stream Football Manager Xbox Edition onto his iPad, to which I said,
oh,
you should be able to. Turns out he couldn't do it natively through the app, but you can launch a browser and run it through there. So now he's got an old laptop, and that
yeah.
thing's suffering. It's not.
Well,
We can't even record a podcast on it. He has to use his iPad. So that's the level of what's going on, unfortunately.
yeah.
But he's now playing Football Manager for free. Well, including with
Free
Game
big
Pass on his
day one.
iPad, and he's loving it. Touch controls installed, and you're off.
Oh.
So he's loving it. So again,
Loving
I
it.
won't
Mouse
have much of a
and
use case for it personally, but for a game like Football Manager, you don't really need, it doesn't need to be on target, does it?
No.
Like, there's no timing involved.
No.
Just it's a spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet simulator, but we've also got native keyboard and mouse functionality in these Xbox consoles. So full experience.
Got a lot going on, as Phil. Got a lot of plates to spin. So decent first year, but certainly brighter days are ahead, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Wasn't a terrible year, but
although it has got a lovely gash up the side of it.
yeah, what was that? You dropped it.
Dropped the guitar.
Yeah, well, at least it's robust. Then it's taken a hit and shrugged it off.
It's got chicks dig scars, right? I was looking into getting like a shell for it, or like one of them sticker things. So, fuck it.
Well, I've got the fridge coming. Maybe we could engineer that into it.
Engineer that bad boy in.
I want to see those things linked together. So you have the Xbox is there, but there's a fridge also inside it. That's sort of the end game for this generation, I feel.
Get that KFC PC. Was that real, that thing?
I can't remember now.
It was like a April Fool's joke or an actual.
I think it may well have been. But
I thought so.
Anyway, happy birthday, Series X and S. Hope you had a good one. You're 1 year old, and Xbox itself 20 years old. So good for them. Because imagine if they weren't around, it was just Sony and Nintendo running the show, and fucking Sega. Imagine if they survived.
Master System 8 coming to you live.
God almighty.
There's rumours they were going to bring out a new console.
Can you see it now? Like someone doing like an Xbox, like starting up in like 2001. Like,
well, we've had so many, like the rise of fucking, what's it called? Stadia that have tried and gone, right, I know it weren't a console.
No, but that's the thing now. That's the only option.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much appetite to do an on-prem console.
I think something like a Sega are trying to get the nostalgia, like bringing back the Master System. But again, I don't know if it could compete enough to join in. It would have to be something to go above and beyond, really.
Yeah.
Nintendo, like that Switch, very much people were like, oh, it's different because they play different games. But, what's Sega going to do? None of these could do. Are they going to go the 4K route and make the 3090 console, or are they going to do the VR experience? I don't know. They're going to have to.
There's probably not room anymore. I don't think anyone's got ambition for it because it's just an absolute punt at this stage.
Yeah.
And
do we see? Is that cloud gaming going to become the norm, and we aren't going to see? Consoles.
We start going down that road, right? It's got to be good. That's all I'm saying. It's not preferable. I don't want Phil to take his eye off the ball. I think they'll always have a level of support for people that want to buy stuff because it's not really much skin off their nose. But if that option starts dissipating, I will be annoyed. I'll tell you that much.